In this video, we're going to explore how the principles of surrendering and letting go, as taught by Michael Singer, can help you to level up your poker game. Now, for the past 5 years, I've been borderline obsessed with Michael Singer's work. He's got a very famous book called The Untethered Soul. He's got another book called The Surrender Experiments, and he has a recent book called Living Untethered. Right, he's also got lots of lectures you can listen to on Audible where he speaks about certain concepts. And he's had probably the biggest influence on my overall mindset and approach to life because his concepts are so simple, yet so powerful. And when you apply them, it changes everything. All right, so the root of his teachings is that all of our problems come from the mind. All right, so think about that for yourself. All problems, often we think it's an external event, we think it's other people, but in reality, when he breaks it down, every problem we experience in life comes from our own mind. And the reason for this is because we have what he calls preferences. All right, we have likes and we have dislikes. We have a list of things that we want. We want to have money, we want to have success, we want to be good poker players, live in a nice house, have nice relationships. This is all our likes, our desires, our preferences. All right. And on the flip side, we create another list, often subconsciously, of things that we don't like. We don't like being broke. We don't like living in bad places. We don't like getting disrespected. A lot of things that we don't like, we dislike. All right. And this seems like a normal thing. We have desires and we have things we don't like. And the way he teaches these concepts, he talks about this being the root of all the problems we have in life. And if you want to make progress, if you want to learn to let go, if you want to learn to experience life fully, you've got to drop your preferences, drop your desires, and drop the things you don't like. Now, when I first started getting into these concepts, I wasn't ready to let go of my desires. All right, so one of the challenges is having desires feels alluring. It feels nice. It feels good to chase things and to want things. But when he explains the concepts in detail, you realize this is what keeps us trapped. All right. He used an example, I think it's in The Untethered Soul, or might be in one of his lectures, of a butterfly. And imagine you love butterflies. And the butterfly flies over and it lands on your arm. And you're like, wow, a butterfly on my arm. And that creates a really nice moment for you. And it creates a like. I like butterflies, and I like when butterflies land on me. All right, so he said just that one like alone. Now when the butterfly flies away, you're like, oh, why is the butterfly gone? When's it going to come back? So that one moment, now you're clinging to that past experience and you want it again. You're like, is the butterfly going to come back? And this one like kind of like you've made now creates a negative experience when the butterfly isn't there. All right, and he talks about how we go through our lives creating lots of these kind of moments, things that we like, and then when that like isn't there, we feel a lack. All right, and this happens, I can picture this many times in my own life, desiring a future outcome and then not being happy in the present because the future outcome hasn't arrived, which is often better situation, more success, achieving something that I've deemed as meaningful. And that act of wanting to do that is what causes the kind of pain or lack of enjoyment in the moment. All right, so when he talks about surrender is one of those words that sounds very passive. You almost think of like a army surrendering their forces, hands in the air, we surrender. You think of a boxer throwing in the towel to save his fighter from a beating, but it doesn't mean that at all. All right, surrender actually means letting go of the ego and the need to control. It's also letting go of desires and expectations. All right, and surrender is almost like not letting the mind and ego try to create a narrative of how things need to be. All right, and surrender is almost like, all right, let's let life unfold. Let's be in the present moment. Let's allow myself to experience life without resistance. And this is, in my opinion, the most important thing you can do personally, but also as a poker player. Learning to drop the ego, to drop your attachments, and to experience the present moment in its entirety. And this involves really inspecting your life and letting go of all the things you've become attached to. All right, I just got a message yesterday. I get messages probably once a week on the topic of, Adam, how do I let go of my attachments? How do I stop myself being attached to results, to outcomes? How do I break this process? And results at the poker tables are just one example of a desire, of a preference that you've created. So the first thing you've got to do is realize, wait a second, I've got some cleaning up to do because I've created these big long lists of things I like and big long lists I don't like, and all my problems is going to be created from that. And the way Michael Singer breaks it down is, as long as these lists exist, as long as you have strong likes and strong dislikes, you've got problems, like big problems. You're going to have desires, like crashes. You're going to have expectations not getting met. You're going to have emotional turbulence. So rather than trying to make these lists perfect, because what most people do is go, well, to solve the problem, I need to achieve all the things that I want to achieve. I need to have success. I need to have money. I need to make sure all the things I like happen. And the things I dislike, I need to make sure they don't happen. If I do that, life will be perfect. And if you try that, you can try that for your whole life. You will never get life to line up so that your lists of likes and dislikes are perfect for a long period of time. You might for a fleeting moment, you might achieve an outcome, you might avoid something you didn't want, and you'll feel good for 10 seconds, maybe an hour, but it's not going to lead to long-term happiness or fulfillment. All right. Now, when I first got into these concepts, I was thinking more from a kind of a well-being perspective of how to feel good and feel happy. But as soon as I got deeper into the principles and how they apply to your life, I realized, it's actually all about performance as well. If you want to perform at your best, you best be there. You best be present. You best not be lost in your mind, in your ego. You best not have high expectations and high desires. You best just be present, let go of all attachments, and be in the flow of life. And once I started to realize, it's not just a kind of spiritual or kind of personal pursuit. It's also anything you want to pursue in terms of performance is helped by surrendering and letting go of all your attachments. All right, so 3 things to work on. First one is letting go of attachments to outcomes. All right, now in the poker context, this is day-to-day results, this is your win rates, this is everything around winning and losing. All right, but you can also practice this on any outcome that happens in life. As you go through your day, look for moments where you judge what you want to have happened. All right, it might be at a restaurant and your food's 10 minutes late and you go, why is the food late? What's taking so long? You're now having a preference that the food should have been ready 10 minutes ago and that now that it's late, it's not good enough. All right, you create a preference for when you wanted it. So you've got to go, let go of that. It's 10 minutes late. Okay, I'm okay with that. So every time your mind goes, I want that, I like that, I dislike that, you've got to find a way in the moment to neutralize that. Gosh, it's okay. It's okay, I didn't get what I wanted. Let's say you're waiting for a bus. I don't really know who gets buses these days. I certainly don't. But the bus doesn't come and it's an hour late. Okay, bus hour late, didn't come. I'm okay with that. All right, so you got to think of all the moments. Say it rains and you're planning to go somewhere nice and the rain comes down. It's like, it's raining. Oh shit, it's raining. Okay, it's raining. Cool, I accept that. So learning to be okay with every outcome. If you learn to do that, the little things in life, all of a sudden the bigger things become easier and easier. All right, but you've got to really, really pay attention. And when I first started doing this, I was like, wow, my mind is constantly going, I want that, I don't want that, that'll be good, that'll be bad. And you've just got to watch it, it'll do it over and over. And you've got to learn to let go of the low-hanging fruit, which, as Michael Singer says, which is the things that don't change anything. All right, like the weather. You can't change the weather. If it rains, it's sunny, let go. Let go of your preferences around it. Let go of your preferences around other people. If someone says something, cuts you off in traffic, someone says something that you found offensive, let it go. Can you be okay with other people doing their own thing and not judging it? All right, so the first thing is letting go of outcomes. And obviously the ultimate for you guys as poker players, can you let go of your need, your desire to want to win and get good outcomes in the short term? All right, it's a very simple game. You know you've done it well. When you can lose, things don't go your way. You feel this thing of going, that doesn't feel good. And then you remind yourself, actually, I'm okay with that. I'm okay, I accept it. Life goes on. And once you do that, neutralize it, move past it. It's really a very, very quick solution to every problem. And once you get really good at this game, you realize there's not many other games to play. Just let go, move on. And when you can't let go, that becomes a learning point. Like let's say a moment happens. Let's say you're like, yeah, Adam sounds good, but last week I lost 10 buys in a row and I couldn't let that go because my mind was like, this is not acceptable. Okay, awesome. You've identified something that you've classed as negative, so a kind of thing you want to push away, and you've been unable to let go. You've got to examine that. Why can't I let go? Well, why can't I let go? You can't let go because the mind is creating a story about that. All right, it's basically saying, well, if I let go of this, then I'm going to keep losing. When's it going to end? Awesome. Great bit of self-awareness there. And you weren't able to let go of that in the moment. Guess what? You've got work to do. Life's a training ground. Get back to work. Try and let go next time. And you just got to keep going and realize life's just a game of training, practicing, and trying to let go more and more. All right? Second one, letting go of your goals and expectations. All right, so this goes hand in hand with the outcomes, but often we go into a poker session, I want to win. I want to get some good results. I want to have a good month this month. I know that for MTT players in particular, they get very excited about the weekend, especially a Sunday. Sunday is the big grinding day. Or if it's a series like the W Coupe or the Scoop, it's lots of exciting tournaments, so the expectations go through the roof. All of a sudden they're setting big goals, like yes, this is going to be awesome. However, there's going to be a big problem around the corner. When your expectations don't get met, boom, you're coming crashing down. All right, so learn to let go of goals. Learn to let go of expectations. Now, some people will push back on me and go, well, Adam, if I didn't have goals and expectations, why would I play? Why would I play poker if I didn't get the outcome I wanted? This is when you've got to spend some work on really understanding, yes, we're trying to get outcomes over the long term, but in reality, like, you've got to enjoy just playing. You've got to enjoy just being there and playing poker. Yes, you're in a direction of achieving outcomes, but every moment, just play good poker. Learn to enjoy solving problems and playing the game and removing those outcomes as much as possible. Now, the more financial pressure you're under in the short term, obviously the harder that becomes, the more you're attached in terms of you hold your kind of identity around your results, the more challenging it becomes. But again, awesome. You've got more training to do. Get to work and work on setting less expectations, setting less goals, and becoming more process driven. And the final one is surrendering to the moment and not resisting. All right, and this is kind of where it all comes together. Can you be okay with everything? And can you not resist what happens and be in the moment? Now, this takes a lot of self-awareness and presence to realize that very often we're not in the moment. We're stuck in our heads. We're resisting the moment. All right, now when things are going well, oh yeah, I'm in the moment. Things are going awesome. We're getting stuck away with it. But when things aren't going our way, very often what we do is we resist. What does that mean? When we resist, it means we go, whoa, things shouldn't be this way. I need to try harder to get things the way I want to. This shouldn't be happening. Think of a poker session when an opponent hits a 2-out on the river. What happens? If it creates an emotional response, generally you resist that. You go, what? That's unfair. That shouldn't be happening. You tense up in your body. You resist the moment. So the work becomes, can I let go? Can I surrender and just be in the moment? And every moment goes, can I let go? Can I be present? And yeah, the more you let go, the more you realize, the moment's fine. I'm interacting with the moment. I'm here to do the best I can. What will come out of that will come out of it. What outcomes happen will happen. I'm here to do my bit, to do my dance with the moment, and that's it. And it's become this very, very powerful game. And yeah, I literally set a coaching call with my poker athletes yesterday, and Michael Singer's work came up, and we went deep into kind of the concept of letting go. And I've taught about these concepts a lot with my students, and a lot of players who've been working on this have said like how every area of their life has changed when they've learned to let go of their preferences and surrender to the moment. All right, I know for myself, from personal experience, doing this for the last 5 years, still got work to do, still areas that my mind gets sucked into, but by being conscious of trying to let go of attachments to results, attachments to outcomes, attachments to expectations, just being in the moment, it frees up everything. It allows you to be happy in the moment, but also to perform in the moment. I think you guys watching this, a lot of you guys will want to be playing your best poker and perform at a high level. And guess what? Letting go and surrendering is a gateway to that. All right, guys, so work on these things. If you want to get doing some further research, I'd say listen to Michael Singer's lectures on Audible if you like audio stuff. Read The Untethered Soul. That's kind of the starting point of Michael Singer's work. And there's a new book called Living Untethered, which is amazing as well, which is a bit more practical how to use these concepts. And yeah, let me know in the concepts in the comments if you guys are already applying these approaches. And this is an ongoing work. All right, so like I said, I've been doing this 5 years, and I've listened to Michael Singer a lot on these principles. It takes a long time to train, to practice, to let go of things that you've been attached to for many, many years. But the work is worth it, and you'll get to a much better place by every little thing you learn to let go of. All right, guys, get working on these things, and I'll see you in the next video.